Hello, everyone. Welcome to the final day of the 7 Day Book Challenge. If you don't know who I am, my name is Skye. I'm a fantasy author who typically writes longer works under the name St. Hegyes of all subgenres and paranormal romance short stories under the name Kota Hegyes. I have a QR code on the screen for some of those short stories because I just published the first one of that series this week. Presumed Dead is now out. Imagined Overdue comes out in a couple weeks, little less than a couple weeks. Um, and yeah, in about a little over a week actually. So yeah, that's what I've been up to lately, who I am, and we're doing the 7 Day Book Challenge. Yesterday we did a 12-hour marathon, and today we're doing the final day of the 7 Day Book Challenge. I've been working on a vampire paranormal romance called Just One Bite, about a vampire king whose fated mate is a human who hates vampires, and he has to try to win her over. So I've been working on that all week. Currently, I'm sitting at 34,717 words out of 60,000. My goal this week, because I had work, I knew I wasn't going to hit 60,000, and so I would have been happy with just 30,000, and I beat that yesterday. So my secondary goal is 35,000, which I will definitely hit today, and I would like to hit 40,000, which I may hit today. I am less than 300 words away of hitting 35,000. So I know that one's doable. But I would actually like to hit 40,000, which is a little over 5,000 words away. So we're going to aim for that. We're going to do 4 sprints today. If you are new to my channel and haven't joined me for sprints before, we use a timer called the Pomodoro Kitty Timer. This is Nixie on the screen. She's going to keep time for us, 30-minute sprints. I like to put up writing prompts during those sprints for anyone who wants to write but isn't certain what they want to write about. You do not have to use them if you don't want to. They're just there for some writing inspiration. So let's see if there's anyone with us. It is Sunday, so I'm not expecting too much. And there's no one there yet, but we'll say hi to anyone who pops in as they come in. But in the meantime, I'm going to be writing. I did during the 12-hour marathon yesterday. I did 18 sprints on stream, 17 of which I actually wrote during. And then after the stream ended, after I took a short break, I did end up doing another quick sprint, and I basically made up for the sprint I didn't write on. Because during the 12-hour marathon, I did not write at all during the first sprint. So basically, I did a makeup sprint to make up for that. So 18 sprints, and I got a total of 16,347 words during the day, during all 18 sprints total. So I'm not mad about it at all. I think I did really good. So today I'm hoping for similar results in the fact of like getting lots of words in. I'm hoping to get. I really would. Let's see how many I have to write in order to hit the 40K. So I have to write 5,285 words today in order to make my goal. So I think that's doable. It's just a matter of sitting down and getting to work, which I haven't started writing today yet. So it's possible that I will hit that after the stream. But in the meantime, as we're streaming and as we're writing, we're going to see how far I can get. And maybe I can hit 2K during this stream, maybe 3. With 4 sprints, it definitely can hit 2K. We'll see if I can hit 3. We shall see, though. And then I only have to write like 2K more outside of streams. So we're going to go ahead and hop to it. We're going to get some writing in. Because I think I covered everything. I will be going on hiatus. This is my last stream of the month before I go on hiatus. Taking all of July off to kind of like bulk film some videos and start getting things in order. I'm also trying to finish writing, editing, and publishing 7 short stories, 6 more short stories to the series that I have the QR code for. The first one's out. Second one's uploaded and ready to go. I just need to do 3 through 7. So that's what I'll be working on for the rest of July, basically. So yeah, that is the plan. But for now, basically, I've been taking a break from the Sultry Solstices series to work on this project this week, and we will see how it goes. Sarah has joined us. Hello, I'm here, but I'm in lurk mode because I'm doing an audio thing. Fair enough. Don't forget to hit the like button so others will see the stream. Thank you, Sarah. Sarah is a lovely human being who usually streams on Twitch. And because of that, and because I'm not very big on Twitch and I don't go to Twitch very often, I always miss her streams. And I'm like, yeah, she's streaming, I think. And usually I'm right if I actually go to Twitch and check it out. But yeah, all right, let's go ahead and jump into our first sprint of the day. Again, I'm going to put up a prompt. You don't have to use it if you don't want to. It's just there for some writing inspiration. And this one says, if I could quit and leave you behind, if I could, oops, it should say, if I could, I would quit and leave you behind. Let me fix that. Could. There we go. If I could, I would quit and leave you behind, but I love you and hate you too much to do that. So that's our first prompt. If you want to use it, you can. You don't have to. And we are going to start in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. That is time, everyone. Let me know how you did, what you did in the comments. Got distracted for a little bit and forgot to turn my phone back on, or camera back on. Phone. I looked over at my phone when I said that. I wrote 661 words. We're playing 4 sprints. I might as well write that down. Okay. Let's see how everyone else did. Shannon is here. Hello, hello. I made it. I was in the garden, so I'm a bit late. I think I'm going to continue working on my outline that I started last night. Is this an outline for a brand new story, Shannon, or is this an outline to continue book 7? Book 7? The final book of the series. Because I know you had started the outline for the final book of the series, but I'm not certain if you had outlined the entire thing, or if you just outlined, started writing, and are now continuing to outline. So I'm curious. Morgan is here. Hello, hello. Quinn is also here. I made it. Nice. Multitasking for now, making potato salad while I work on Project Fall and Project Reunion outlines. I work on drafting after I'm done with the food prep. Can anyone recommend us a good solution to getting pet hair off keyboards? I love the little fur balls with cheese. We have dust in a can, and then every once in a while I unplug the keyboards, and I've got mechanical keyboards, so I pop the keys off, and I thoroughly clean them with like a damp rag. Especially since like the problem I'm having with I have a mechanical calculator too, and the other day I had to pop off the 9 key because I think soda got splashed on it. Probably one day when I sneezed, honestly, because I did remember something like that, but it was sticking. So I pulled off the keys and I cleaned under it with like a baby wipe. So I do that with the keyboards as well. I use like a damp rag or something like that to clean my keyboards. The only reason I make sure they're unplugged first is that way I don't accidentally type stuff while I'm doing other things. Or like if with the case of the one I've been using with my the one I've been using with my laptop is it's not a mechanical. It's like I think it's called a creamy. I don't know, but again, the keys don't pop out on this one that I know of, so I would just take a damp rag to it. It might come apart. I have no idea. I just got this one recently. It was on sale. I've been looking at it for a bit, and I was like, screw it, let me get it, and I got it, and I love it. It's nice. It's not as loud as I type fast and I type hard, so it's not as loud as the mechanical keyboards. And then with like a regular keyboard that's not mechanical, I just, again, the damp rag, a can of dry air, damp rag. Yeah, try the dry air first, as long as there's nothing like sticking. So like for pet hair, pet hair and dust. I just do the dry air, and then once a week, because my mechanical keyboards tend to like hold dust and dirt, like it clings to it. That's when I pull the keys off and do a damp rag. I have a picture I keep of my keyboard, so I know where to put the keys if I pop them out. 661. Nice, Quinn. Did we get the same numbers, or were you announcing what I wrote? I'm curious. If we both got 661, twinsies. Let's see. Shannon says yes, brand new story and a brand new series. Nice. So this will be like, I can't remember. I think you have 2 series published now. 3, 2. Now I gotta go check out Shannon's page to find out, because I want to say 2. One of which you're writing the 7th book for now, but I felt like the other series was already complete. Quinn says that's handy. I'm stuck on a laptop keyboard for now. Can you use a mechanical keyboard with the laptop? Yes, absolutely. Oops, let me pause this because I wasn't paying attention. So, mechanical keyboard laptop. I have a MacBook laptop, and give me a second. Turn this off and this off real quick. I have an external piece that allows me to have extra USB hubs. So like this is my mouse, this is my keyboard, and I can actually plug up my mechanical keyboard that I use with my desktop, which is what I use for streaming. Um, I can plug it straight into this and use the mechanical keyboard on my laptop too. I have a separate keyboard for it. That's all. Turn everything back on so I can write. Let's see. That was for me. I didn't write this print. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see. Morgan is doing some more marketing work today, researching what to post and jotting down ideas. I totally read that as jolting, not jotting. Yes, we're going to electrify ideas now. Yes. It's electrifying. Woo! Okay, sorry. Shannon says 2 series, finishing one of them, 2 others in mid-series, and many, many more on the horizon. I feel that, many, many more on the horizon. So I was talking last night a little bit about the fact that I have so many series. Let's see. Currently, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 series at least started, and many, many more ideas not started. Actually, that's wrong. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a collection. Series 5, collection. 6, 7, collection. 8, 9, 10, 11, collection. 12, 13, 14, 15 series. 15 series. How many standalones? 16 standalones and 100 plus ideas that could possibly be series. Haven't started plotting out anything entirely yet with those. Yeah, so like I have, if you add up all the numbers as individual ideas versus like this collection is a series, there's like 600 plus ideas on this list. So yeah, that's fun. Let's see. Quinn says, good to know my daughter has extra Bluetooth keyboards. I might try out. Might as well steal her stuff first. Nice. Yeah, at least try it. Now, because I have a MacBook, some keyboards do not connect to it because they're just straight up made for PC. But like my gaming keyboard is for either one. The new keyboard that I got that I was showing is made for both. So like either Apple Music. What the heck? I didn't turn on Apple Music. Boy, must have updated. Or I accidentally hit something. Anyways, so yeah, it's worth a try at least. Like some of them might not be compatible, but the ones I have are. I specifically got ones that were compatible with both because I have both. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and reset this so we can get started on our second sprint, mostly because I need to run to the bathroom really badly. So, and I've also made it to the end of the comments. So we're going to go ahead and hop into sprint number 2. The prompt for this one, if you want to use it, says, it never fails to amaze me how dumb of a smart person you are. So that's going to be our second prompt. If you want to use it, you can. Don't feel you have to. So here we go. We're going to start in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. All right, that is time, everyone. Let us know how you did, what you did in the comments below. I wrote 573. I'm not getting the word counts I was getting yesterday, but I'm not surprised. I'm in a part after the emotions have come down and sexy times have been had, and I'm like, where is this story going? Like, I know, but I don't know. It's one of those scenes that's like in between pivotal moments where we're like building the relationship up between the characters, but like it feels like nothing's happening. It serves a purpose. It is to build the relationship between the characters, but the antagonist is not part of the scene yet, and so like I'm like, how do I get them from here to here? So that's why it's going slow. That being said, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's hilarious. My word count, my total word count for the day is 1,234 words. Which, whenever that kind of stuff happens, I always think it's pretty hilarious. All right, let's take a look and see what y'all have been up to. Quinn says you have been busy. I've got one PNR series started, and now this contemporary romance possible series maybe would be much more loose standalone series just to set in the same town, same small town possibly. Nothing wrong with that. I love a good interconnected standalone series. Shannon says my list is very similar: 23 books plotted, some outlined in a collection, at least a dozen series, some series with spin-off series. It never ends, right? And Quinn says finished the potato salad, which took longer than it should have because I realized I need more compact, high-powered. I need a more compact, high-powered blender. Stacy is here. Hello, hello. Have not written a single word today. I have had a headache morning. I think the weather is changing because it is more sinus than anything else, so I am just watching dramas. They are so bad. I'm sorry you have a headache, and I feel that because the weather here, like it's very cloudy, like it looks like it's going to rain, but it's just windy. And I think it is supposed to rain today. It's been supposed to rain for the past 3 days, and we haven't really gotten much rain. Like it's been in the forecast. It's rained in town, but it hasn't rained here. And we're about 10 minutes out of town, 15 minutes out of town. But it just looks ugly outside right now. So, completely understand that. What kind of dramas are you watching out of curiosity? My sister has become obsessed with K-dramas, and she keeps recommending ones that she thinks we would like. She's very much into the K-pop and K-dramas, so it's been hilarious. Meanwhile, I don't watch a lot of TV in the first place, so I'm just like, I don't know. I want to watch something that's got a short season that's got like 12 episodes, and that's the whole show. That has a good ending, too. It's not like it was canceled mid-season and they try to wrap everything up. Like, I want good shows. I'm very picky, and there's not a lot of what I like to watch. Or there is, and it's just not short. Excuse me. I'm definitely more of a movie person. Can I get it done in one shot and be done with it? Or, yeah. So. The other thing I've been doing today before I even started this stream is the fact that I've been looking up house plans because, like, in this series, he's a vampire king. He's got money. He comes from money. And so I was like, what would their house look like? So I was looking at plans for like what I think the house would look like, and I'm thinking something more plantational, like old Southern style, because that's where it takes place, is like in the South. And I'm thinking part of the money comes from not so good things. So, because vampires are definitely monsters in this book, where they definitely kept human slaves and blood slaves and stuff like that. And the current vampire king, who is one of the main characters, is trying to bring them out of the Dark Ages, basically. But that doesn't mean he doesn't currently live in a place that's not a good place. So I'm thinking like Southern style plantation home. And then I've got another story where it's Fae. And they also have money because again they're fae and they look wealthy and act wealthy. And the house is not really a house for them to stay in. It's just like a placeholder to like be on the town and hold the portal between the realm between the human world and the fae realm. Like they don't stay in it. It's just for looks basically. Um, and so like it's not the same, but it's still got to be this impressive looking house. So I was looking at floor plans for that as well, and I think I found floor plans for both kind of houses that I want, um, which helps me because I wanted to be able to like describe what was going on. Especially like I needed something that, in the case of the Fae story, they host an annual ball or a gala. I think they call it a gala, and it's mostly them trying to build that connection up with the people in the town, as well as like bringing the Fae folk to the human world for a night of revelry, basically. And so I was like, I need to find the house that has enough room for them to host something like this, even though they themselves will probably never use it to like stay in. So that's what I had to do. And probably what I'll do is I'll take those floor plans and I'll go build them in Sims and kind of rearrange some things. Because like again, the Fae don't need this place to live, but they do if they host one of these galas, they want to be able to host their guests, and so they need a bunch of guest rooms. And so, like, the floor plan I found was like a one level house with a bunch of extra rooms. So I'm like, they don't need these rooms. They don't need a breakfast nook. They don't need a dining room. They just need a place for like the gala event itself. And then they need a secondary floor with all these guest rooms that anyone who wants to stay the night can stay the night. Let's say they get a little too drunk and cannot drive, or in the case of the Fae, cannot go back to the Fae realm because the realm door is closed until the next night, basically. So I'll have to fiddle around with the floor plans a little bit, but mostly I just wanted to find something that looked like what I wanted to look like on the outside, and then I can rearrange the innards. I can rearrange their guts. So that's what I was doing before we even started the stream. And I think it's got me slightly distracted because now I'm like, I wrote the scene in the vampire story without really knowing what the innards of the house would look like. And so I'm like, do I go back and rewrite those scenes so they actually make some freaking sense, or do I just wait until rewrites to do that? I should wait for rewrites, but I kind of want to. I think that's part of what's distracting me is the fact that I kind of want to go back and rewrite those scenes because it does change some of the stuff that happens, or at least how it can happen. Stacy says that is one of the hardest things I have about writing is floor plans and making homes smaller than reality, right? In my head, these places were both much bigger than they are, and I'm looking at these actual homes of floor plans of real buildings that existed. I'm like, how is this only a 4-bedroom house? And then I see all these extra rooms that they have and how big these extra rooms are. I'm like, oh, that's how. No wonder these older buildings that were like bigger estates had these extra wings, and that was nothing but guest rooms in those wings. And I'm still trying to decide in the case of the Fae family, does their home have like an extra wing that's attached to it for guests? Or is it just the one building and it has the standard like 3 to 4 bedrooms and I just leave it alone? Because again, they don't generally sleep there. They go back and forth to the Fae realm. So, and it literally plays like a very insignificant part of the story. Like it really doesn't matter. But I need to know. The only thing that I need to make sure that this house has is a place for them to host the gala where they have like a dance floor. That's it. That's all this house needs. I literally don't have to describe anything else in this house. But in my mind, I'm like, I need to know the exact layout. I need to know where the master bedroom is. I need to know where the kitchen is. I need to know how their guests are getting from one place to another. I need to know where this portal is hidden. The portal is mentioned in one sentence. One sentence. It doesn't matter where in the house it is. Ugh. driving myself nuts for no reason. All right. Speaking of driving ourselves nuts, this was a terrible transition, but we're going to get back to writing. And I'm going to drive myself nuts trying to figure out what I'm going to do with this story. There we go. All right. Our third prompt for anyone who wants to use it, you don't have to, says, I don't wish you harm, but if you lay one finger on them, I will make you pay for it with every bone in your body. So that is our prompt for anyone who wants to use it. Again, you do not have to. And we are going to start in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. All right, that is time, everyone. Let us know how you did and what you did in the comments. I wrote 864 words. Bring my total to just over 2,000 for the day. Which is good. I'm happy with that. Keep bringing it clicky, side clicky. I got out of the slog spot. I figured out how to get out of the slog spot, and now it's getting back to a more interesting portion. Mostly because I'm near the end of the chapter, and I know what's going to happen in the next chapter. So the next sprint should go pretty decently, actually. I should get a good amount of words. However, I'm also very tired still. I got plenty of sleep. Don't get me wrong. Got plenty of sleep. But I think it's the weather outside. I'm just dragging today. And I'm not doing as well. Let's see. Quinn said, missed the last break. Sorry, I keep pausing the video because I forget it's live and I don't need to pause it. I've done that. I've done that too. Quinn said, I've been watching a lot of TV series, Vampire Diaries, Yellowstone, Supernatural, a bunch of passion flicks series. And Quinn said, wow, my paranormal world sounds a lot like yours, actually. Dystopian setting where vamps and lichens control the world and most of humanity is enslaved. I've mixed in some Greek mythology with mine, but I'm still working up the kinks with it. It's a snowball as I continue to write more books in the series. That sounds like a lot of fun. This one is just vampires. Oh, goodness. Not as much fun stuff happening. I love it when there's vampires and lichens. I've been hearing more people say that they want like poor vampires and rich werewolves. And I'm like, yes, I'm here for this. I would like poor vampires because in almost all the mythologies, the vampires are very rich while the werewolves are very poor. And I'm like, but what if? So, and in this case, the vampires are very rich, but they're very rich because it's blood money. So, meh. Shannon says, Skye, thank you so much for hosting all these streams. You're absolutely welcome. Going back out to the garden. It's a beautiful day. I will continue writing later when it gets too hot to be out. You rock. Thank you for joining us, Shannon. You're probably already gone back out in the garden. I hope you have a wonderful day and enjoy the garden and have fun. Tamara has joined us. Hello, hello. Everyone's saying hi to Tamara, back and forth. And Quinn said, I started messing around with the outline tools in AutoCrit. Nice. I do not have AutoCrit. I do not have, what's the other one, ProRadiated? Oh, excuse me. I have used the free version of the Hemingway app, which only allows you to put so many words in at a time, but for my purposes, that's all I needed. And it doesn't hold anything online. It just holds it right that second while it's analyzing it, and then the moment you clear it out, it dumps it completely, or at least supposedly. The way everything's going with AI these days, I don't trust anything. So for all I know, it's been keeping my stuff. But the fact that it only keeps it can only analyze I think it's 500 words or 5,000. It's either 5,000 or 500. I can never remember which. And because it can only analyze so much at a time, it's been working for me with what I want to do. Especially since I write shorter stuff anyways, for most of the time. Quinn said that's a good point, but I kind of understand why vampires have lifetimes to accumulate wealth and knowledge and all that stuff. Exactly. Like I completely understand it. I just feel like it would be. We talk about doing opposite tropes. What's it called? Subverting tropes. Yeah, and the fact that vampires have all of this. Wealth in most cases, like that would be a subversion of the trope if the werewolves or lichens had all the wealth. Because so in real life, wolves are very family oriented, and werewolf lore that originally started was based on the old theory of wolves, which has been found incorrect over the years. So if we did a more modern take on werewolves with the fact that they're very family oriented, I can see how werewolf families, especially if it's like a bloodline thing, could accumulate just as much wealth, if not more, than a vampire, because that would be like generational wealth. Especially if they were smart with their money and their finances, and they've been like investing it since like the dawn of time. I can see how that generational wealth could come to be a thing. Whereas a vampire would be the same person with the same wealth, whereas it'd be built upon over the years by multiple different people. I almost picture with a rich werewolf, I can almost picture something like a family account where everyone is putting into the pot and only using what they need. I can almost see that happening. And because they're werewolves, I can imagine they go out and hunt. So food won't necessarily be as big of an expense for a family of werewolves as it would be for normal humans. And at the same time, going with the vampires, they drink blood. They in most lore, vampires can't eat food. In some lore, vampires can eat food like human food, but it like doesn't taste good. And in other lore, it actually makes them violently sick. So depending on the lore you go with, the vampires might not need that cost, but they would need access to like blood banks if they don't want to like go out and eat humans every night. So they would need access to blood banks. And in order to get that kind of in my mind, in order to get the kind of access they would either need to work at said blood bank or be a big enough donor that no one's going to bat an eye if they walk in and just start taking bags of blood for no reason at all. So that's what I come with the theory of as far as like werewolves. Werewolves would be more of a generational wealth built over time, uh, and I can just see it keep accumulating over and over again and multiplying because all the people in that family. I also imagine because wolves have lots of pups. I imagine big families with werewolves. So there's like 6 or 7 kids with each generation. So it's like a big family tree, whereas the vampire is just a single line with maybe 1 or 2 kids. So that's just my theory. And again, it depends on what lore you're going with. I know with different story ideas I've done different kinds of lore with the different story ideas, with the different universes they take part in. I don't think I've used the same, except with a lot of my shifter stuff. A lot of my shifter stuff has the same rules for the different worlds. But I even have a lot of fun changing up the regulations. Like my vampires in this story might be different from my vampires in this story, which might be different from my vampires in this story, kind of thing. So it's just a lot of fun to play with. Tamara says I have pro writing aid, but not autocrit. Fair. Quinn says I feel like werewolf like lore is a little more of a mixed bag. Sometimes they're immortal, sometimes not. Mine aren't. Tried pro writing aid, but I'm liking some of the extra features on autocrit. Excuse me, like their story builder and journey features. Oh yes, generational wealth is a thing. In my world, the vampires also form blood families between creators and their children, and lycans have packs that are more village community based. See, there you go. Exactly. Vampires have blood slaves for their food source, while the wealthy ones do at least. Fair. Tamara says, I don't really know anything about autocrit. And Quinn said, it usually marketed as pro writing aid style program tailored for fiction writers and built by fictional authors. Interesting. I didn't know that. I knew they were similar, but I didn't know the differences between them. Excuse me. Again, I should not be tired. All right. We have one more sprint to go before we wrap up, and I think I'm going to take a nap after this. Because I should not be this tired, but I am for some reason. I'm blaming the weather. So let's do this. Final sprint of today, final sprint of the 7-day book challenge, and then I'm going to be on hiatus for a full month. Tamara says, I just signed up for free. Nice! All right, here we go. Here's the last prompt. It says, tonight was supposed to be special. I thought you were going to propose. Instead, you're breaking up with me? So that is the final prompt for our final sprint of today's stream. And we're going to get started in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. All right, everyone, that is time. Let me know how you did what you did in the chat. That was our last sprint for today and our final sprint of the 7-day marathon. I'll probably be riding off and on throughout the rest of the day, but I'm not going to be sprinting anymore. Not going to be streaming anymore. And this was actually my last stream before I go on hiatus for the month of July. So, woot woot, all the things. I wrote 1,062 words. I said I got to past that point I wanted to get past. I did, and now we're good to go. Which means today I am sitting at 3,160 words for the day so far. And like I said, I probably will write more. I'm just not writing any more right now. So I'm really pleased with that. That is better than I thought it would get, honestly. And I only have about 2,000 more words to write to be the goal I wanted to make for this weekend or this week. Because as I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, because I was doing this challenge around work, I knew I wasn't going to get 60K, which is what this novel is going to be roughly. However, I was hoping to get 30K. I beat that yesterday, and I was like, stretch goal 35K, best goal 40K, and I have 2,000 more words to write roughly before I beat that goal. So, yay. If I write 2,000 more words, I'll beat my best goal that I wanted to get for this week. And I'm not going to lie, if I can get further than that, great. If I can't, that's okay. But I think I'll be able to get at least that far. So let's see how you guys did in the comments. Quinn said, now I have a fellow otter quitter to talk to. Kay jumped in, can't stay, but thought I'd pop in and say hi. Hi. Boop that like button if you haven't already. JC is also saying hi to everyone. Nia is also here. Hello, hello. I've got a couple hours to try and get some writing done before family dinner. Everyone is saying hi to each other. Tamara rewrote half a chapter from a different project. And Nia said, you did great. I think you'll hit 30K. Yeah, I will. I got 2,000 more words. I got that, especially if I can keep on the momentum that I did for this sprint. I'm going to go take a nap is what I'm going to do because I'm tired for some reason. It's the weather. It's about to start storming. It was sprinkling a little bit ago. It's been windy all day. But I am blaming the weather for my tiredness. Also the fact that I'm by myself. The kids went with Justin into town today because I got D&D in about 20 more minutes. So, yeah. I think that wraps everything up. After today, I will be returning back to the Sultry Solstices series. I've got lots of work to do with those to get those ready for publication. And then I think what I'm going to do, my plans right now, these may change depending on what happens in July. My plans right now are to completely finish the rest of the Sultry Solstice stories. They're all written as at least the first draft. 5, 6, and 7 have only first draft written. I've got to go back through and do edits of them. 4, I have to do a final read-through before I send it off to betas. And basically what's going to happen is when I send 4 off to betas, I'm going to do my self-edits of 5. By the time I get 4 back, I will send 5 out to betas, and I'll just be doing that. It'll be a revolving door of working on one, sending it to betas, working on the next, sending it to betas kind of thing until I've got all 7 done. And so my current plan is after today, I'll return to Sultry Solstices. After I complete Sultry Solstices, I will go back to this one and I will finish this one. We'll see if that plan changes. It very well might. We'll see. I know I do at least need to get Sultry Solstices done because those are on deadlines. The pre-orders are already scheduled. That's what the QR code is up there. So I know those have to get done. But whether or not I return to Just One Bite, which is the story I've been working on this week, after I finish that, or if I go on to something different is the question. So, yeah, I got to later this evening, after I finish wrapping up everything with this story for the 7-day book challenge, wherever I get to, I need to return to 4 and do a final read-through and send it to betas. I started doing that last weekend. I was trying to finish it before this 7-day book challenge started. Didn't quite get it finished, so I got to finish that up and get it sent off. So, enjoy the nap. I'm not playing D&D. The kids are playing D&D. So, yeah. JC said, 4, you say? Finished with what? I need to finish my read through a 4, format it for betas, and send it off. Finished with the 7-day book challenge. Or, yeah, this stream, I did 4 sprints. That was the final one, if that's what you're asking about. I'm not doing an all-day thing. Not today, sorry. I may do some more writing off screen, just a little bit, to like finish up this chapter basically and hit that 40K mark, but then I'll be done. And I'll write the last 20 or so K after I finish with Sultry Solstices. So that's the plan, at least. But yeah, thank you all for joining me. It's been lovely seeing everyone for these daily streams. The daily streams will come back in September when I do the next 7-day book challenge. Let's see. What are the dates on that? I think I have it. I think I have the dates already for that. On the opposite side of this. I have no idea. It's not written in here. It's not written on there. It's written somewhere else. That's the wrong year. I don't have it written in here either. So I haven't planned the next one. Great. Cool. That's the next thing I got to do. Plan the next 7-day book challenge. But yeah, I will be popping in and out of streams, hopefully in chats, but I won't be streaming. I won't be doing videos. I won't be doing vlogs until August. Actually, one of the things I'll probably do during July is go ahead and pre-schedule all the August live streams. July will also give me a chance for hopefully work to settle out as far as the schedule goes, because I have not worked the same schedule at all since I started, and part of it's because I've been in training. Part of it's because they've been moving people around based on who's working where. They recently let someone go, and that was why I worked Fridays, because I had to basically take their place. So stuff like that. And so my streaming schedule might change based on what they schedule me for at work. We'll see. I'm hoping not, but I have all of July to figure that out, and then I'll be coming back to do weekly streams in August, and that's when my videos and stuff will come back as well. Tamara's going to hit me up on Discord. Yes, do so. I even have Discord open right now. Thank you. I'm hoping July will be relaxing too. Mostly I'm using it just to basically get some bulk filming done and some editing and uploading done, because I haven't done that for a while. I had 9 videos filmed, and the audio in all of them was messed up, and I don't know why. So I have to refilm all those, and I was just like, table flip. I don't want it. JC, I did answer your question. I'm so sorry. All right. For those who don't know me, my name is Skye. Thank you for joining me for the 7-day book challenge this week and my daily streams. I write longer works such as novels and novellas under the name St. Hegyes. They're within all subgenres of fantasy, whereas I write paranormal romance short stories under the name Kota Hegyes. My debut series, Sultry Solstices, is up for pre-order. The first book is out. The next books will be coming out every 2 weeks following the previous one. So if you click on the QR code up there, or I think you got to use the camera to get the QR code. I don't know how QR codes work, apparently. Yeah, you'll be able to find access to that. Otherwise, there's links in the description for everything else. I'm going on hiatus. I'll be back in July. Not July. No, I'm going on hiatus in July. I'll be back in August. Anyways, it's been lovely seeing you all, and I will see you all in August. Bye, everyone.